I want to share with you how to cut your fabric using curved paper templates for all those gorgeous curvy quilts. Let's get going.
The supplies you'll need are a 45mm rotary cutter, 4 to 6 inch ruler, and your paper templates. The first thing you'll want to do is check your proportion box on your paper template. It'll tell you what size the box should measure, and you can use a ruler to double check that by simply placing one of your quilting rulers on top and making sure it's accurate. If it's larger or smaller, that means you need to reduce or enlarge your paper pattern via the copier or increasing the size that it prints off as. So then cut your templates out. And you can see this pattern involves convex and concave. But we're going to go ahead and start with the convex. Your pattern is going to tell you the width in which you need to cut your strips of fabric. I normally start on the salvage edge, and then I'll just lay my paper template down. I'm laying it this specific direction because this way the curve is more comfortable as I'm cutting it. It's not an awkward cut, and you'll see what I mean when you go to cut. That would be an awkward cut. This is much more comfortable for me, so I know the cut's going to be better. Next, I'm going to make sure the fabric is nice and flat and take my ruler, and I'm going to place about an inch overhang from where the fabric starts, where the cut's going to start, and I'm going to focus on keeping my rotary cutter straight up and down, and I'm going to use the ruler and pivot it around the curve and then let the rotary cutter glide against the ruler as I pivot it. Again, the key here is to give yourself a little room and then make sure you keep that lined up. Don't press too hard or you'll slide the ruler and the paper template. Just keep a firm pressure, but not so much that you're like pushing it down where it's going to slide. Keep the rotary cutter straight up and down and slowly begin to pivot the ruler around the curve and let your rotary cutter glide right against that ruler. And you just stop and readjust the ruler and continue to pivot. Sometimes you will feel the fabric kind of bunch up or kind of get wavy underneath the ruler. That's okay, just keep it moving nice and slow. And see right there, be careful of that. Just simply lift the ruler, straighten out the fabric, and continue. Imagine when you're cutting with the rotary cutter that the pressure is straight up and down. That'll help you not wiggle around. And there you go. Now I just slowly pick up the corner of this carefully and pivot it. If you have a rotating cutting mat, this would be a great time for that. And then you'll just get another straight edge that's long enough for that side of the template, and you'll go ahead and cut your straight line. And there you have it. Now your convex templates are finished. Now I can use the same piece of fabric to demonstrate how to cut a concave curve, and that just simply means a curve that's inwards. So cutting more to the right is more comfortable. So here we go. We'll start this again. So again, I'm going to cut my curve first. That way I can flatten out the fabric after cutting the curve and make sure I've got a straight edge. Sometimes when you cut that curve, the fabric seems to move and kind of get wavy. So this way you're cutting that curve first, you can flatten it, and then cut your straight edge on the other side. See, even my template moved. I'll just go back over here, line it up with my straight cut I made, and go again. It is not a huge deal if your ruler moves or your template moves. Just line everything back up as best you can. Curves are an approximation anyways by my status of them. So, and there you go. All done. I would not cut more than 4 layers of fabric, and keep it slow and steady as you begin to cut these curves. That's super, super important. And then again, just take a straight edge and you'll cut that clean off and be set to go. And now you have your concave pieces as well. Ta-da! I hope this was helpful. Make sure to comment any questions you have. I'll be happy to answer.